Audio. All right, looks like we're live. Welcome back to another episode of 30 Minutes with a Millionaire. If this is not your first time to the series, you know oftentimes we go over 30 minutes, but this is the number one place on the internet to tune into to increase your income, impact, and influence. Now, if you're watching this and it's a replay and it's not live, go ahead and skip forward maybe 30 to 60 seconds till we get ready to start. Today is a very special episode because I'm going to be introducing and teaching a live lecture on a framework that I've never taught before. So if you guys know success leaves clues, I'm often talking about how success leaves clues and how the most successful people in the world literally just learn from the mistakes of others who have come before them and learn from the wins from others who has came before them. That is literally the secret to success. What mistakes have others made in your industry and what wins have they had and what can you learn from both of them? So I'm constantly trying to reverse engineer my wins, my biggest failures, my biggest wins, and bring them to you guys for two things. Number one, so you don't make the same costly, time-oriented, painful mistakes that I've made. And number two, so you can hopefully replicate the big wins that I've had that's transformed me and my family's life. So without further ado, for those of you who are tuning in live, go ahead and start dropping your questions live right now in the chat. When I'm done teaching this framework in approximately 5 minutes, we'll get to Q&A. And if you're watching this and it's a replay, make sure you do two things right now. Number one, hit that red subscribe button right now on the channel and hit the notification bell next to it. That way you're notified every single week. We drop new videos every single week. And currently at this time of recording, I go live every single week, holding nothing back, literally trying to help you guys get to the bag. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my whiteboard here and I'm going to break down this framework. Now, this framework is something that honestly, I came up with this today and I had this epiphany when I was driving on the way to my studio and it hit me. I'm like, man, I called my production guy and I said, you know what, write this down. Let's record this. So I haven't premeditated this. I don't have notes on this. This is raw cut and live. So, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. Again, I've never taught this philosophy before, this framework. However, it's super, super powerful. And I think it's going to give you guys a mind shift and it's going to help you guys to have that confidence. See, there's one thing about confidence, and usually people have this backwards. People try to start with the competence and then hope that the confidence is breeded from the competence. Well, if you start with the actual competence, of the thing, it can breed the confidence. So understand thoroughly what's going on and exactly what it is that you're trying to learn, what it is that you're trying to do, and breed the confidence and vice versa. So regardless, and here's the thing, some people will say, breed the confidence, then get the competence, or have the confidence and then breed the confidence. Everybody is different. Regardless of the amount of research that you put in, depending on the type of person or human that you are, there's no right or wrong reason. You may be more confident than others. You may be more competent than others when you're starting. So identify where you are in that spectrum and plug this in. And let's go ahead to the whiteboard and let's break this down. So this is the spectrum of difficulty when it comes to being successful. Each and every one of you guys who tune into the channel, your number one goal is to become successful, location independent, financially free, own time freedom, and get to that next level, regardless if you're brand new to entrepreneurship, regardless if you're at 6 figures or you're 7 trying to hit 8 and above. This is something I learned. My mentor, Myron, and this is something that changed the game for me, is really understanding this, that it is easy to make a large amount of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. Keep that in the back of your mind for a minute. Write that down. We're going to come back to that later. But I want you to look at this spectrum, and I want you guys to think through this. First and foremost, when it comes to earning, many of you guys have heard in the industry that you're in or in the world or in the universe that you can earn based off of the value that you bring, right? For instance, everybody needs trash picked up. Everybody needs floors cleaned in businesses. That's a problem, and there's value being added. However, a janitor's at the bottom of the totem pole, right? Now, everybody has health problems, and sometimes there's medical procedures, and there's surgery and stuff like that that has to be happen. Those are bigger problems. Is it safe to say down below in the chat, yes or no, that a spill on the floor is less priority than someone who just had a heart attack that needs to go into surgery? Yes or no? So you can see the different spectrums of problem and the different spectrums of where it adds value and what it is that needs to be done. So with that being said, I want you to look at this chart that I drew out here. So based on money, how do we get to the next level as entrepreneurs, as business owners, investors? How do we get to the next level? I want you to think about this, because oftentimes when it comes to getting started in that thing, this can be Amazon, real estate, whatever that thing is, that vehicle, that catalyst, you're thinking about, man, it's going to be difficult. All of us as human beings, it is human nature and basic psychology, we are going to focus on the negative outcome. And if you just focused on the positive outcome, you wouldn't worry about the negative outcome, because the greater the risk, the greater the return. However, nobody focuses on the greater return. They focus on the greater risk. So how do we look at this as a spectrum? It is difficult to go, and let me use a lawyer as an example. It is difficult to go to school and study and pass the bar exam to become a lawyer. That is difficult. That is hard. Very few people actually pass it. People have to take it 2 times and 3 times. They have to take it multiple different times, and they have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and go to years of college to learn that specialized knowledge in order to pass the bar, right? So if we have a lawyer, and I'm just throwing out random numbers right here, and let's say that they do 5 years of school and it costs them $300,000, okay? This is difficult, but they're offering massive value. Lawyer, doctor, doesn't matter, same thing, around the same amount of school, same amount of cost to go to school. That is difficult. It is a skill set, and they're solving a problem, and that's why they get paid more than the janitor. They get paid more than the teacher, so on and so forth, right? Well, the difficulty to learn. It is difficult to learn this. Remember, it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. Making $300,000 a year is a little bit of money over a long period of time. For some of you watching me right now, you may say, hey, listen, $30,000 a year is 10x what I'm making. That would change the game for me. The biggest mistake that you can make, and learn from my mistakes, that's the whole reason why I do this, is so that you learn from my mistakes. The biggest mistake that I had, if I could go back 5 years, 10 years, was thinking too small. I need you to understand that it takes the same amount of cognitive load. It takes the same amount of thinking to think 10x where you're thinking at currently than it is to think 10x too small. So me, I always had conservative dreams. So write that down. Are your dreams conservative? And if they are, audit your dreams. There's a cheesy saying that says, if you shoot for the moon and you fall, you'll still hit the stars. Some of us are aiming for the clouds. You need to step it up. You need to step your level of thinking up. And I'm going to explain why. $300,000, 5 years, you become a lawyer. And all of us, when we were coming up, our parents said lawyers, doctors, architects. These are the top earners in society. Well, guys, if you're watching this channel and you want to become financially free, location independent, you want to become wealthy, you want to be a multi-millionaire, you need to be above the top earners in society. You need to become the 1%ers. See, the doctors, the lawyers, those jobs, it's cool. We need that stuff, and that's cool if you're passionate about that. However, if you want more and you know that's not for you and you know there's more out there for you, you need to do better. So if you knew better, you would do better. So let's break this down. It is more difficult for you to learn to become a doctor or a lawyer than it is for you to learn how to make $1 million in a year, $1 million in a month, and even $1 million in a day. Well, Josh, that sounds ludicrous. How could you even say something like that? Doctors are smart. Architects are smart. Lawyers are smart. I've made $1 million in a year. I've made $1 million in a month. And I've made $1 million in a day. And you know what's crazy? The more money you make quicker, the easier it is and the less it takes to learn. And that's why I uncovered this spectrum that I hope that you guys grasp. So if it is difficult to learn, you can make a lot of money, but that's where the spectrum starts. And each one of these are going to be notches. The more difficult it is to learn, the more money you can make. However, if you want to make a ton of money, the secret is difficulty to find. I'll say that again. If you want to make a lot of money, you need to learn a skill set that is difficult to learn. High income skill sets. You have personal coaches. You have doctors, you have lawyers. This is a lot of specialized education. It is difficult to learn. It costs a lot of money to learn. And then on the other end of this spectrum, you have business owners. And I could go down and I could make a list: investors, hedge funds, business owners, so on and so forth. But we're just going to keep it nice, broad, and general around business owners. For me, this spectrum was e-commerce. If you guys know my story, I was making minimum wage, felon at the age of 18, no high school diploma, living in a one-bedroom apartment, 350 square foot. My rent was literally $275 per month. Couldn't pay my rent. You guys know the story. How did I go from that situation? My wife an immigrant, she making $9 an hour, me making minimum wage, us having 2 children, sleeping on the floor. How did we get from that circumstance to becoming a millionaire in 12 months' time? That's because I found a difficult skill set. I found a difficult amount of knowledge. The knowledge that I found was difficult to find, okay? It's not difficult to find how to be a lawyer. If you have the money and you pass the test, they will take you. It is difficult to find someone who's going to tell you how to find a product, where to find the product, how to brand the product, how to market the product, how to sell it for X amount of margin, where to sell it, what to do with the proceeds. It is very difficult. Harvard Business School is not going to teach you this. The best schools in America are not going to teach you how to do this. So you're going to fall in the halfway point or less. If you are falling on traditional education, okay? Traditional education. Now, to get on this side of the spectrum, you need to have personal education. So how did a high school dropout, a felon, no college degree, no high school diploma, make quantifiably more than the doctors, the lawyers, the software engineers, the highly educated top of society? It's with specialized knowledge, personal education. It is faster for you to find personal education and learn personal education and then implement personal education than it is for you to find traditional education, go through traditional education, and implement traditional education. The highest paid, one of the highest paid jobs, top 3 highest paid jobs in the world is going to be a brain surgeon, and they make less than $500,000 per year. It's saying we got issues. Are we good, E? Is this still recording?
We're having issues with Facebook on their end.
Cool. Are we still recording, though?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. So in order to make $500,000 per year, I have to go to college. Then I have to get out and I have to get my general residency. And then I have to be a general surgeon. And then I have to go back to school and I have to pass more tests. And the average age is 55 years old before I even start making that type of money. Well, how did I just in 12 months learn something, do something, and reap the rewards? It's because it's personal education. So on this spectrum, when it's difficult to learn, you can make a lot of money. However, you can make a ton of money if it's difficult to find the information. Why is it difficult to find the information? Everybody knows about e-commerce. It's difficult to find someone who generally knows what they're talking about. It's difficult to find someone who you trust to take that information and to run with it. Is it safe to say down below in the comments you would not allow a doctor to practice on you or to do work on you if they learn from an online course? Is it safe to say you would not allow a doctor to do surgery on you if they learned from YouTube? Yes or no down below in the chat. I know I'm not. I'm trying to pay for the most skilled doctor with the most amount of education. And oftentimes you can ask my wife, if I'm doing specialty like doctor stuff and they're not old, I'm a little concerned. Why? Because I know in order for them to get good at their skill set, it takes time. Well, it doesn't take time for you to become wealthy because it's easier to make more money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. I've proven this over and over and over again. So find something that's difficult. It's difficult to learn how to start an online Amazon business. It's difficult to figure out how to buy real estate with no money and get the real estate for free. It's difficult to find these hedge funds that are successful where you have amazing traders and they're managing these funds with high success rates. All of these things that are resulting in high income, massive exponential wealth creation, they're not difficult to do, difficult to learn, they're difficult to find. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I want you guys to understand everybody has this backwards, right? Everybody has this backwards. When people start out, when people start their business, start their business, they think it's difficult to start. They think it's difficult to start. Okay? This is our difficult meter. However, this is the true difficulty. So if you flip your perspective, man, I want to make my first $10,000 online. I want to make my first 100,000. I want to make my first million. This stuff is difficult. That's not difficult. It's difficult to find, who am I going to learn from? Who do I trust? Who's going to teach me? Is their information valuable? Is their information legit? That is the difficult part. This is why people mess up. They focus on it being difficult to start, and then they go here on YouTube. And then they shoot here to Facebook. And then they shoot here to a podcast. Then they finally work up the courage to buy a course. But they didn't do their due diligence right here. They didn't do their due diligence right here. Or, and I'll write this out so you can have it. Number one, research. They lacked the research. Or number two, they were cheap. This is the biggest issue. Every single day in our community, every single day in our customer support, we have stories from people who went to invest in online coaching and courses and so on and so forth and resources where they admit that they were being cheap and what they got was not what they expected, or it didn't work, or they were not knowledgeable, or they didn't help, or so on and so forth. So don't expect to get rich being cheap. We've all done it. I've done it. So many people do it. I want to get rich. The goal is to get rich. I want to make all this money. Yet when it comes to investing, I want to be as frugal as possible. I want to be as cheap as possible. I got where I got very, very quickly for two reasons. Number one, I invested everything I had, and the outcome was it had to work. Not I'm going to gamble this, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to brush it off. It has to work because I'm already gambling my food. I'm already gambling my shelter. I'm already gambling my clothes. Everything that I need as a necessity to live went on the table. Therefore, it has to work or it has to work. Too many of us gamble with this thing called success, and then we think it's a scam when it doesn't work out. You didn't go all in. If you put 10% of your income, 10% of your net worth, 10% of your savings, how can you expect 100% of your results? How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you started with the inclination that maybe this works, if it works, this would be awesome. That's the same inclination that you're going to have going to a casino, putting money that you can afford to lose in a jackpot that you know that you're probably going to lose all your money hoping to make money. Does that make sense? Down below, say yes. So why would you start your business with that same logic? It doesn't make any sense. So then to backtrack, we start on YouTube, we go to Facebook, we go to podcasts, we finally buy a course. What happens is it loops back over here. And then this is this never-ending infinity of cycle of not getting anywhere and blaming the marketplace, blaming the teachers, blaming yourself. And then what happens, you start to have self-limiting beliefs. Oh, I'm not smart enough. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, my parents are right. Oh, my boyfriend was right. Oh, my girlfriend was right. Oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that. It has to work or it has to work. How you do anything is how you do everything. Very simple. And I'll give you a real life example. I'm going to the gym. I hired a trainer. I am trying to get in the best shape of my life. I am trying to get results. I understand this is very clear logic because this is a principle, just like the law of gravity is a principle. What goes up must come down. It doesn't matter what country you're in, what age you are, what ethnicity you are, what your beliefs are. What goes up must come down around the world. And the same is for results. The energy that you put into something is the results that you will get back, right? I know that if I eat that Reese's when I'm craving it at night, or I drink that full Coke at 140 calories when I want a Coke, or if I start drinking beer when it's full of calories, or I have meals that I'm not supposed to have, I know it's going to affect my results. Therefore, why would I do something that's going to hinder my results? How you do anything is how you do anything. How you do everything is how you do anything. How you do anything is how you do everything, vice versa. When you're starting something, start going all in because it has to work or it has to work. We went over this on the channel so many different times, and I'm really trying to drive home as we come to an end on this philosophy. There's only two ways that you can fail. There's only two ways that you can fail. This is it. Only two ways that you can fail. Not starting or giving up? And you can run through these scenarios. I want to become a lawyer. I fail the bar, which so many lawyers do. I have option one or I have option two. Option one is I already started. I went to school. I invested my money. I took the bar exam. I failed the bar exam. How do I become a successful lawyer? I have to pass the bar exam. Well, if I already failed it, am I going to give up and say I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, this wasn't for me, this is BS, this is a scam, this is no longer viable, this no longer works? Or am I going to go back and study because I know I'm already a lawyer, I'm just not a lawyer yet? In your business, when you lose your money, are you going to give up? This is a scam, this doesn't work, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, this isn't going to work, everybody was right? Or are you going to go back and identify what you did wrong, make that adjustment, and do it until it works? This is not a gamble. Don't treat entrepreneurship, don't treat your business as if it's a gamble. In the words of my distant mentor, Jim Rohn, life is so risky you won't make it out alive. You're already gambling every single day. No one's guaranteed tomorrow. You're gambling life right now. Why? Because you could die in your sleep and not wake up. So why would you gamble with your success? Why would you gamble with your future? Why would you gamble with the comfort of your children and their children? Go all in on yourself, or go all out on this dream of becoming an entrepreneur and work for someone who went all in on the dream of becoming a business owner. There's a meme, if you don't go all in on your dreams, you'll be employed by someone who did. And I'm going to close this statement with that. And again, down below, there'll be a link so you guys can download all of my notes absolutely free. You get access to the portal, all of my lectures, all of my trainings, everything here on the channel is absolutely free. Click the link, put your information in. It's a free course. You'll get access to all of these notes as well as these recordings. With that being said, guys, are you ready for another episode of 30 Minutes with a Millionaire? We got to really change that name, man. I think we're 30 minutes in on this lecture, right? If you guys are ready, down below, say I'm ready, and let's go ahead and highlight some questions. Remember, guys, the only dumb question is one that does not get asked. What's going on, Tony? Tony says, how many items can you have at an Amazon warehouse? Because I was reading that they're only allowing 200 items during the pandemic. So there's multiple variables, and this is a good question. So they have restricted inventory limits for new sellers. So, and I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. One of the highest frequently asked questions is, when should I start my Amazon account? So when you start your Amazon account, it's absolutely free. There's two options, only two. You have an individual, you have a professional. Start the individual because it is free. Why should you start it immediately, even if you don't have a product, even if you haven't taken a course, even if you just started learning about this? Because it's called seasoning your account. Now, nobody knows the exact time frame for how long your account has to be based off of the limit or how much money you have to make to increase your limit. So it's best to go ahead and start seasoning that account. Number one. Number two, people get concerned about this. Not only does this protect Amazon, this protects you. Why would Amazon restrict the amount of units that they allow in a fulfillment center? First and foremost, because Amazon is growing so fast. There are so many buyers on Amazon and so much product going through Amazon's pipeline. They cannot build fulfillment centers fast enough. So what are they doing? Businesses that are going out of business or that are dormant, like Sears, Target, JCPenney, they're going out of business. Amazon's renting them and using them as fulfillment centers while they build more fulfillment centers. So they have to be cautious with the amount of inventory that they allow new sellers for their safety, right? Now, for your safety, and the reason why this is good is because, and the reason why they do this, think about it. The reason why they do this is because so many new people who are uneducated, who are trying to do this business by themselves with lack of information, was going and finding a product, doing good. They got product research down, but they don't have the rest of the business model down. So when the supplier tells them, hey, the minimum order quantity is 3,000 units, they're like, man, this product is going to make me all this money. I don't want to order 3,000 units, but that's what they're saying is the minimum order quantity. So they go order 3,000 units. Then it gets checked into Amazon. You don't have a review plan. Your listing's not optimized. You don't know what keyword research is. You have no idea how to launch a product. You don't know how to do PPC. And all these units just sit. Now, who's losing money? Not only are you bleeding money in extended storage fees, Amazon's losing that valuable real estate in their fulfillment center, which is the space to store products and SKUs that are actually moving. So that was implemented to protect not only Amazon because of what I explained, but also to protect you because they know that it's a very good, viable business model and strategy to start selling on Amazon. And they also know that, okay, this amount of people it's their first product on Amazon and they're stuck with way too much inventory. In the AMZ formula, and part of the AMZ formula is a micro launch. So when we do the micro launch, it works like this. Let's go to the whiteboard really quick. The micro launch works like this. And the reason why we implement the micro launch is because of this. Okay, when we're doing research, so we do product research, we find this product. After we find this product, we reach out to suppliers. They say MOQ is 3,000. Minimum order quantity is 3K. All right, we tell them first and foremost, Amazon's not going to allow 3K. Second of all, I have to get what's called proof of concept, and I have to gain barrier of entry. These are two terminologies that you want to write down. Proof of concept and barrier to entry. These are terms inside of the industry that suppliers are aware of. If you don't know what this is and they're like, oh man, that's a lot. I wanted to kind of test a little bit more, but I guess I'll do it. They just took advantage of you. The game is to be sold, not told. Your supplier is not going to teach you how to do this business, and neither is Amazon. They expect you to do your due diligence and be educated, or to invest in learning how to do it. Just like if you perform an operation on somebody, that client is relying on you to have done your due diligence and be schooled properly and have adequate understandings on how to proceed with that procedure. Same thing. This is a real business, guys. So with that being said, once you tell them that two things, you say, listen, I want to launch 200. If the minimum order is 200, I want to launch 200. Okay? Now what we do is your supplier is going to send, these 200 units are made. Okay? Your supplier makes these 200 units. Then they're going to ship them directly to Amazon. This is Amazon. And then what we're going to do is the micro launch. This is the micro launch. So the objective of the micro launch is to get proof of concept and to gain barrier to entry. Once you do these two things, then you've validated the you verified the product, right? You verified the product. All right. Now, again, I'm not going to go too much into depth because this is in the channel. And if you're a member of our portal or our program, I go into great detail and depth, step by step, inside the AMZ formula, inside the AMZ Formula Max, or in my inner circle, whichever program you're in. However, to give you some context into verified and validated, pre-launch, pre-launch is validate, okay? And then post-launch is where you verify. So to make this very easy, in pre-launch, when you're verifying, no money is required. This is when you're doing your due diligence on the platform, utilizing the software. When it comes to post-launch, this is when the money is required. This is when you're actually ordering the product and sending the order directly into Amazon. Great question, man. What's the average startup cost of FBA? Traditionally, I like saying the more capital that you have access to, the better. I hate that question. However, $2,500 to $5,000 USD is a good starting point. If you're on the lower side, I teach you in the program and here on the channel how to do what's called a freedom formula. A freedom formula is how to find products that you can afford. Every single week, we drop a new video called the 7-Figure Product Series. It's like a Netflix series type situation where I'm reviewing products that generate 7 figures or more per year. And throughout that series here on the channel, and most definitely inside of my programs in depth, I teach you how to find the right product. When people think about the right product, they think about a product that's going to make them the most money. Down below in the chat, when you think about a winning product, what's the first thing that you think of? Down below, let me know. Let me know in the chat down below. What is the first thing that you think of when you think of a winning product? So many people say it's the product that's going to make the most amount of money, product that's going to make $3,000 to $10,000 per month, blah, 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 blah. The perfect product is a product that meets your financial abilities. How much money do you have to actually source this, launch this, so on and so forth. And it also meets your risk criteria. Two things you have to understand when you're doing product research. Why do people fail in this business? Because they don't find a product, or they find a product and they don't know how to adequately launch it, and then they give up. Those are the two reasons why people fail. I've taught hundreds of thousands of people. We have 10,000 plus people go through our portal. We have hundreds of success stories. I've interviewed them all. I've coached for years straight every single week. I've talked to enough people in this industry to know those are the two biggest things. Number one, they don't know how to find the product. They get overwhelmed. They're not consistent. Number two, they start and they don't know what's next. And they try to figure it out and they fail. And then they don't have the resiliency. They don't have that competence to be confident, like we broke down at the beginning. And that's why they fail. In my lectures, and if you've ever attended any of my 3 or 5 day seminars or my trainings, the first thing I do, and I blow everybody's mind, is I say, I challenge you to show me a product. Any product you find I can sell. Any product you find I can rank to page number 1. People don't believe it. All products on Amazon sell. Oftentimes when products aren't winning, it's not a product problem, it's a person problem. It's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of competence. It's a lack of confidence. And that's why you're not successful. If the product is found on Amazon SKU or catalog, that means it's been bought before. That means it sells. What's a failed product? A failed product is a product that does not meet our expectations. It's not a product that we launch and it's just crickets and we make no money. Does that happen? Absolutely. Why does it happen? I can tell you right now confidently, it's a lack of competence. That's why. How's your reviews? How's your pricing structure? What's your keywords look like? What's your PPC campaign? Are you utilizing influencers? What's your social media presence? If you don't have all these things answered and you're trying to do this for free on YouTube, you're going to lose your money. Don't start. Don't start, or be prepared to lose time and money. And that's not some psychological thing to get you to buy my stuff, because I could care less. That's why I'm here on a Friday and not playing Call of Duty or eating sushi, because I want you to not waste money or lose time. And the money, you can make the money over and over and over again, infinite amount of times within your lifetime, because money is not worth the actual material that it's printed on. The thing that I value more than money, and that you should too, is time. Time is a resource that is invaluable because you can't create more of it. You can't purchase it. You cannot recreate it. Once it's gone, it's gone. And every single second, you're losing time on this planet. So I challenge you to use your time wisely and to start to value your time more than you do your money. It's crazy because people will spend more time to save more money. It's like, dude, you spent an extra 3 months getting the competence level to gain the confidence to start the business, then fail, then give up, versus spent the $2,000 to learn from someone that can tell you step by step exactly what to do in chronological order. It baffles me that people make that decision. Because in the traditional education system, nobody tries to be a doctor on their own. Why, like what? And I almost cursed on here because it's so crazy. Why the heck would you try to be a millionaire on your own? You can't be a doctor on your own. You can't be a lawyer on your own. You can't be a mechanic on your own. Why would you try to be a millionaire on your own? There is no such thing as self-made millionaires. Millionaires had to learn something from someone who was there before they were. Very simple. I don't know one millionaire, and I've got tons of, I don't think any of my friends are broke, that just woke up out of their sleep and they're like, oh my God, I got this $1 million idea. I know exactly what to do. I'm going to do all of it, and boom, I'm rich. No, they all worked hard. They all found mentors. They all invested in themselves. And as a result, they all become wealthy. It's that simple. It is literally that simple. And that's why I wanted to lead with that philosophy and that spectrum in reference to how the things that are difficult to find is what will make you a lot of money, not the things that it's difficult to learn. It's not difficult to learn how to sell on Amazon. You know what's difficult? You to actually make the investment in yourself. You know what's difficult? Once you make the investment and things aren't going in a desirable outcome fashion, for you to continue to do something that's not desirable. That's what's difficult. That's why people aren't successful. You know why I'm successful? I made that difficult decision both times. I invested everything I had when I had nothing else. And when it didn't work, I didn't give up. Like, I'm going to keep saying it on all these videos until you guys catch it. If one person on the stream gets it, 2 people on the stream get it, your life is going to change. That's it. When I talk about patience, persistence, resilience, that's the only 3 things that you need. Not 18 podcast albums, not 100 affirmations, not 42 courses, not a college degree. You don't need any of that. All you need is those three things, and you need one catalyst. You need one vehicle to get you where you want to go. It doesn't matter what it is. It may not be Amazon. Whatever it is, choose that one thing and don't get out of that vehicle. When you're getting in your vehicle and you're driving from destination A to B, you don't hop out of this vehicle and get into another one. Why would you do it in your life? Think about it. It's a principle. It's a principle. Nobody does this. When you get in an Uber, when you're driving in your car, you go from destination A to destination B. When you're flying in an airplane, you go from destination A to destination B. Think about it. And you know what's crazy? Like, stop focusing on failure. Your obsessions become your possessions. If you're obsessed on failure, well, why would I be obsessed on failure? I'm obsessed on getting rich. Are you? Because when things aren't working out, what are your thoughts? Are your thoughts, it's going to work? I know it's going to work. I thank God because it's already happened. Or are your thoughts on every single negative outcome that's going to happen? You know what's crazy? Every single minute somebody's dying in one of these cars. Yet when you travel from destination A to B, do you think about the negative outcome that you could die? Your car could misfunction. A semi-truck could go off the road and hit you. Do you think about that when you hop in that vehicle? This is a vehicle that gets you from destination A to B. Why do you think like that when you're in your destination, when you're in your vehicle, which is your business, trying to get to your destination, which is success? Every single year, people die in airplane crashes. Thousands of pounds floating in the air at 30,000 feet, going hundreds of miles an hour. Do you get on that plane and do you watch Netflix and you just chill and listen to music, or do you get on that plane and think about all the things that could go wrong? If you don't do it in your life and you're already thinking that way and operating that way, don't do it in your business. Next question. Down below, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down below, I need to see I'm getting it. How long does it typically take for your business to take off and replace your income? Chandler, amazing question. I'm not going to dive deep into this because I have a video that does that here on the channel. It's called, what is it, the Freedom Formula? Yeah, check for a video called the Freedom Formula, something around there. And the Freedom Formula is that. Basically, how much are you making? Like, how much is your living expenses? And I'm not talking about popping bottles in the club. I'm not talking about getting the Yeezys when they drop. I'm not talking about going to sushi every Wednesday and drinking sake and eating unagi. I'm talking about rent, car, children, food, like shelter, necessities. How much is that? What does that look like? Reverse engineer it. For instance, if my rent, my car, my food, all of that costs $3,000 per month, how do I reverse engineer that so that I can stop working for someone else and work for my own towards my goals and towards my dreams? Very simple. One product selling 10 units per day at $10 profit times 30 days is $3,000 net profit. This one product that I find that meets that amount of revenue just replaced my current income. So I teach that in that video, and that's my philosophy I call the Freedom Formula. That framework will teach you how, regardless if it's $3,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, it will teach you how to do that. I did that when I bought my house. I did it when I bought my car. I'm doing it right now when I go to buy my yacht in my next house. So it doesn't matter if it's $1 million, 10 million, what your goal is, you can implement this framework. Good questions, guys. By the way, guys, I see a ton of people on here. I need everybody right now. Let's do this together. It takes zero effort. Let's smash that like button right now. And guys, if you're not subscribed and you're on here, or maybe you've been on here more than once and you haven't subscribed yet, I cannot quantify to you guys and explain to you guys tangibly how much your guys' subscriptions on the channel and your likes and your comments and your shares, how much that helps the channel. I don't sell anything here on the channel. I just want the channel to grow so we can get more exposure, so we can help more people. So if you can do that right now, take just a second, that would mean the world to me. Chandler, where do you think Amazon FBA will be in years? In 10 years. So in 10 years, there will not be physical stores. And in 10 years, Amazon will be top 3 largest companies in the universe. That's my prediction. Timestamp this. We talked about, in another episode, we talked about virtual reality. We talked about the need to no longer test drive vehicles. All of that will be done in simulators. All of that will be done in VR. Furnitures right now, there's already apps where if you want hardwood flooring in your home, or if you want furniture in your home, you can literally go into a virtual reality app and see that. With things like the Oculus Rift, And large companies like Facebook changing their name to Meta, it's just a matter of time. I give it 3 to 5 years. Amazon's next play will probably be virtual reality. If Amazon does not buy a large company like Facebook or vice versa, they will come out with their own. You have Google, you have Facebook, two ginormous companies that are focusing on virtual reality right now. So Amazon is not an Amazon business. By the way, I'll hit on this really quick, guys. Amazon is not an Amazon business. You're not starting an Amazon business. You're starting a brand. You're starting a retail company, and you're doing it the right way, which is digitally and not physically. When we sell things on Amazon, we are not e-commerce sellers. We're not marketers. We're not selling stuff online. We're not hustling. We're not flipping stuff. We are solving problems. What is the problem? I need to get stuff off my shirt. The solution, this lint roller. What is the problem? I don't want to drive all the way across town to Walmart and waste time, which is my most valuable asset that I will never get back, driving somewhere, doing something I don't like, when I can click 3 buttons and have this sent to my doorstep by the end of the day or within 2 days. So that's my prediction. I've been doing Amazon retail arbitrage for 2 years, but don't have a lot of seed money to keep feeding the beast. How much capital is really needed to reach even 5K in monthly sales? So 5K in monthly sales, you just have to do the math. So I'm not going to break down the math for this, but let's go to the whiteboard really quick. I'll teach you guys how to do this. And again, I have a video called The Freedom Formula, and it talks about the Freedom Formula. What's that? I highly suggest that you guys check that out. I highly suggest that you guys check that video out. It's called The Freedom Formula, and it breaks down how to do that equation and how to find products. We good? All right, cool. So let's say that I'm trying to solve for this, right? I'm trying to solve for X. And in my example, let's just say X is $3,000, right? And I kind of went over this verbally, but I'll draw this out so you guys can see this. If I'm trying to solve for X, okay, what I need to do is reverse engineer it, right? So I'm going to break this down like this, right? If I'm trying to make X, right, and I'm trying to solve for X, this is what you have to identify, okay? How many units, okay, how many units do I need to sell per day? How many units do I have to sell per day? And unit cost. This is the equation that you have to solve for right here. So how do I identify this? Very simple. If I'm solving for X and X is 3,000, okay, and I divide 3,000 by 30, 3,000 by 30, that's going to give us, what is that going to give us? 10 E? Pardon me, 300. It's going to give us 300, right?
Yeah.
300 times 30 is 3,000? No, it's 10, right?
300 times 30 is, you need a calculator.
Yeah, let me see your calculator. How much? Let me see your calculator for a minute. You're going to divide 3,000 divided by 30. That's going to give you 100. All right? So basically what this is going to say is in order to make $3,000 per month, right? Per month, you need to sell, you need to make $100 profit per day, right? So 100 profit per day is the goal to achieve X, okay? So now that you know that, what is the unit cost? So I know that I need to find a product that is going to make me $100 per day. How can I do that? You can solve for that, right? $100 per day can be 10 units at $10 profit per unit. It can be 20 units at $5 profit per unit. It can be 5 units at $20 profit per unit. And you guys get the gist, right? So if all of these equate to that $100 per day, now I have to do product research, right? Why is it important that we solve for this before we start product research? Everybody messes up by doing product research first without understanding where they want to be and solving for X. like, I want you to understand there are billions of products on Amazon. If you start doing product research without knowing what product you're looking for or what your budget is or how much you want to make, you're probably never going to start because you're going to get overwhelmed with the amount of results. So once you understand how much you want to make and be conservative, because everybody wants to make $1 million, but many of you cannot afford $1 million in inventory, be very, very realistic. Once you understand this, then you can start product research. Once you start finding products, you then go to Alibaba to find COG, cost of goods. Or the other part of our equation, which is unit cost. So for instance, we've already done step number 1, which is identifying X, which is how much we want to make per month. You said 5,000. For this example, I'm doing 3,000. I did the math. 3,000 divided by 30 for 30 days in the month gives us $100 per day. To make $100 per day, we understand that we have to find something that's selling X amount of units. When we start doing product research, we plug in that criteria. We start finding products. When we start finding products, we go to Alibaba.com. We find out how much those products cost. Then we do the equation. So if I'm selling 10 units per day and the unit cost us $5 per unit, that's $50 per day in unit cost. If we do $50 per day in unit costs, and we multiply this times 30 days, that equals what, 1,500? Do the math for me. 30 times 50? 1,500, right?
15 or 50?
50 times 30.
1,500.
1,500. I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate numbers here. I'm doing this on the fly without a calculator. So does that make sense down below? If you guys are getting this, say yes, and then I'll recap this very quickly. Again, we're solving for X, right? X is how much you want to make per month. You fill that out here, right? Once you fill that out, you need to solve the equation. How many units per day do I need to make this? And what is the unit cost? So divide that number by 30 for 30 days on average in the month, right? That's going to show you how much per day you need to make. Break that down into 3 different scenarios: 10 units, 20 units, and 5 units at blank. Once you understand that, plug in the search criteria to meet these criteria that you're looking for. When you start finding products, go on Alibaba.com. The suppliers are going to tell you how much it costs to source these products. Divide the product cost per unit, or the cost of goods, by the amount of units that you're going to sell in a month, and that gives you your startup cost right here, right, of $1,500. Now, you want to add a few things, okay? You have your Amazon account. Call this just call this $50. I'm going to round up. Okay? You have Jungle Scout or similar software. Let's just put software. And again, down below, guys, we have links to software where you can save money and get it for a month, get it for 2 months, and use this software to find these products, because you can't find them without the software, right? Let's just say $50. Okay? You have COGS, which is cost of goods shipped, which is 1,500. 1,500 plus usually 20 to 30% of product cost is going to be what it costs to ship. So let's just add another 450. And again, these are round numbers for illustration purposes. Don't hold me to it and be blowing me up. But this is 1950 for COGS. COGS is cost of goods shipped. When you get quotes on Alibaba, it's not shipped unless they say, hey, this includes EXW, this includes FOB, which are different terminologies for shipping, right? And then you have a advertising budget, which we recommend $500 starting out. So when you add all of this up, We have 50 plus 50 is 100, plus 1,500, 1,600, plus 450 is 2,050, right? 2,050 plus 500 is 2,550, and then we have 2,550 plus no, we got it right. 2,550. So $2,550. So it's funny, like I didn't even know it was going to come out to that, but at the beginning I told you guys on average 2,500 to 5K USD is going to be your startup cost. So when I say that, that's because I know the math and I know hundreds of clients coming through us and doing this and us doing this for hundreds of clients. This is what it's going to cost. Again, guys, if you want these notes, I give these notes away for free as well as recordings to these videos. All you got to do down below, there'll be a link. Go ahead and put in your personal information in that link. You'll get access to that mini resource vault where you get all of my notes from all of my lectures, from any of my trainings, absolutely free. Cool, great question. Do you have to use your company letterhead when contacting the manufacturer with the AMZ template? Wendell, you do not need to. However, it does make you look a little bit more professional and increases your perception, which will, it's not guaranteed, but will more than likely get you A, a better response, and B, a better price. Very simple, pardon me, very simple to do. What is your launch strategy in competitive markets? So my launch strategy, and this is a good question. So the question is, what is my launch strategy, right? Launch strategy. And the actual question was, what is my launch strategy in a competitive market? The truth is, it's the same for competitive or non-competitive, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. Why would I like put half energy into a launch for a product I feel it's not as competitive as one that's competitive, right? The difference, the main difference is, let's just say less competitive, more competitive. The difference is going to be how much money I spend and how much effort I put in. So it's the same exact thing. So we're still going to go after reviews. We're still going to do PPC. We're still going to do friends plus family. We're still going to do existing clients. We're still going to do social. We're still going to use influencers, etc. So all of this translate over here. The only difference is I'm going to spend more money and I'm going to spend more effort on something that's more competitive, and I'm going to spend less money and less effort on something that's less competitive, if that makes sense. However, we do the exact same thing. Good question. What's our next question? Josh is the real deal. If you guys are trying to learn how to do this, join this program. It's changed so many lives. Oh, my man, Reagan. What's up, Steve? My man, I appreciate it. Another Amazon sensei, man. Steve, definitely check out his channel. Check out his stuff. Fun fact, I know we had some questions about arbitrage. Steve used to do what I'm doing in his studio, gosh, back 6-7 years ago. And he used to go to Goodwill and used to go to Salvation Army and show how to find the right clothes that sell resale for big money. When I had no money, Steve helped me put money on my table. I would go to Goodwill on the weekends when it was golden tags and blue tags, 50% off. I would get my Tommy and my Polo, and I would steam them, and I would clean them, and I would hang them on my white wall and take pictures and sell them on eBay. And that's where I made a lot of my money when I lost my money in my business or when I needed extra cash. So shout out to Steve Rakin. definitely check out his channel. I appreciate the love, brother. Just launched a product which has about 200 clicks but no orders from relevant keyword campaigns. What would you address first? So there's a few things. So it's a process of elimination. So you want to do a process of elimination. So I'm not going to walk through this. Like I have like a 20, 30-minute video in my program on this. So I'm not going to walk through it, but I'm going to give you the premise of how it works. So you want to go through a process of elimination. And basically what you want to do is you want to come up with a list of things, right? You have pictures. You have your bullets, right? You have your description. You have your pricing. You have your review count. You have your campaign, your keywords within the campaign. You have your campaign itself. You have the quality of listing. And these are just a few of the top ones. Now, once you create this list, then you want to start doing audits and you want to identify like gaps. Okay, this needs to be changed. This needs to be changed. This needs to be changed. So maybe you don't have enough reviews. Maybe you have no reviews. Maybe your pictures suck. So the easiest way to do this audit is to compare yourself to the top sellers. Guys, don't reinvent the wheel. You're probably not the first person to make money in the industry, in the category, selling the product you're trying to sell. If I try to go launch this tomorrow, somebody's already making $10,000 a month selling this. Why would I reinvent the wheel when I can reinvent the results? How do I reinvent the results? Do what's already working and then improve upon it. So compare apples to apples, right? What is your price point compared to theirs? What is your review ratio compared to them? What is the quality of your images? How many images do you have? What are your keywords? How's your description? Is your description just keyword stuff? Is it actually persuasive literature? Go through an internal audit to see where you can improve. And here's the thing, guys, even if your stuff is printing money, even if your stuff is working, try to break it. Write that down and implement it. Always be breaking, always be testing. One of my products, actually my first product that made me over $1 million net, the biggest mistake I made is I stopped breaking. I got top 3 in the world. I was selling 100, 200 units a day. I was printing money and I got left it on autopilot and I stopped messing with it. I sold an ugly, outdated box that wasn't optimized for years. And guess what? The saying that we've heard growing up is if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, this thing was printing me money, so I'm not touching it. That's a mistake. Always be improving, always be optimizing, always be refining, always be looking for opportunity, always be trying to make the packaging smaller so you can make more on the margin from the fulfillment side. Always be trying to find ways to increase the quality of your product so you can retain customers long term. Always be trying to find leakage within your business in terms of margins. Always try to find operational issues within your business that you can refine to have better customer journeys. These are things that we do now as me being an 8-figure entrepreneur that if I knew back then, I would have exponentially increased the results as well as the lifetime customer value. Guys, the biggest mistake is I see entrepreneurs, especially in the Amazon business and the e-commerce business making is they monetize today, not tomorrow. Stop monetizing today and monetize tomorrow. Amateurs monetize the front end and prioritize monetization on the front end while experts monetize the back end, right? Think about it like this from a relationship. Your relationship with clients should not be a one-night stand. It should be a marriage. Marriage, you want to last a lifetime. So think about that through your customer ascension, through your customer journey, through your marketing, through your customer service, through the quality of your products, to your referral programs. Literally, always be auditing it and always be getting constructive criticism from others. Just because you're crushing it. My thing is, oh, I'm the Amazon guru. I'm printing money. I made $1 million with my product. I know my stuff. Nobody can touch me in the world. So guess what? I didn't send packages to friends for free. I didn't send packages to family and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about the flavors? What do you think about the scents? What do you think about the sizes? What do you think about the packaging? How could I improve this? What ideas do you have? This is how you get to the next level. So these are things mistakes that I made and things that I didn't do that will, if you implement them, will help you out considerably. I purchased products already and I want to put them on Amazon. Are you saying that I should expect to spend $2,500 plus to be an FBA seller? Did I mess up? It's difficult for me to answer that question. So if you already purchase products and they're in China, you have to pay to have them shipped to the US unless you already covered that. So here's the order of operation. Number one, identify if the products you paid for include shipping. If they don't include shipping, find out what shipping is immediately, and then tack on that $500 for advertising and that $30 for your Amazon account, and that's where you're going to be at. So I wouldn't say you messed up. I would say that you learned. The only way that you can mess up is if you give up, right? Cool. Hopefully that helps. Is that a Lambo green screen or is it yours, bro? Bro, why'd you even click on this, bro? There's always got to be somebody that says that crap. Like, no, bro, we're in a state-of-the-art studio, man. This thing, 3-dimensional state-of-the-art studio. Tripping, man. I'm already signed up for your course. You teach about a lot of different product research strategies. Which strategy do you utilize the most? Awesome question, man. So there's no right or wrong way to do product research, and there's no I don't want to say one strategy will get you results more than another. I even hate saying this is my favorite strategy because then people will only do that strategy. I will say this, and hopefully this helps you tremendously. Use a combination of all of them. Understand them all very, very specifically, what they do, why they work, and how you can blend them together, and then get a flow, right? Almost like a basketball game. Like the fundamentals of running a layup are the same. However, it depends on if you're coming down left lane, right lane, center lane, how many people are playing defense. You have to switch up techniques and you have to do different dribble techniques, different pass techniques. But the fundamentals of that layup that will still get you that point is the exact same. So the fundamentals of the product research to find you that product based off of your search criteria is the same. However, depending on where you're at in the product research cycle, you need to blend different strategies together. So hopefully that helps. However, I will tell you my personal favorite one, but don't just cannibalize yourself from all the other search models. But my personal favorite out of the course that I teach is going to be the reverse engineered, or the hack, where basically I do opposite searches than everybody's doing. So instead of searching for products with high demand, low competition, I'm searching for products with high demand, extremely high competition. And then I reverse engineer by going into their stores and chronologically filtering their products based off of date sold by. And I'm looking for the date sold by that is the soonest. And I'm looking for the amount of reviews that is the least. And what that search criteria is going to give me is their newest SKUs. I then go look at these newest SKUs and I reverse engineer search based off that to see which one is going to be the most viable product. That is my personal favorite one. However, do not just do that solely, and don't allow that to cannibalize your search. Yeah, we're giving too much stuff away for free on here, man. At the end, we're over the hour, man. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing subscribers rolling. I'm not seeing likes. I'm not seeing you guys share this stuff. Yo, you know how much money I made with this stuff? I don't know. Down below, man, if I'm giving you guys too much game and you want me to stop, go ahead and say stop. That was a trick question. Yeah, no, this is crazy. Hey, and down below, please, guys, if you know another channel that gives anywhere near the amount of value of this, please tag them down below because I'd like to do something with them, or maybe I can learn from them. But I know when I started this stuff, this didn't exist. And in the past, I've charged tens of thousands of dollars for this level of information. So, and guys, full transparency, I'm not going to do this forever because every week it's the same questions, but I'm doing this to build the community. I'm doing this to help my community. And hopefully, you take action, choose execution over excuses. And the biggest reason why I don't do stuff like this of massive value for free is because people discredit it. If you don't pay, you don't pay attention. And if there's no transaction, usually there's no transformation. So take this information and utilize it, right? And hopefully we can work together and I can help exponentially take your business to the next level. Cool. We'll bang out these last 3 questions. What's the best way to run traffic to a digital product with no budget? Affiliate marketing, and joint ventures. The difference between joint ventures and affiliate marketing: joint venture is a partnership with compensation on the back end. Affiliate marketing is where there's compensation on the back end and it's no partnership. However, it's a relationship, right? So those are two ways that I would do it. If we already have the AMZ formula, could we just pay the difference to get AMZ Max if possible? Yeah, good question. So all of our programs, we do what nobody else in the industry does. Everybody comes up with this bull crap, all their different programs and blah, blah, blah. With the exception of our done-for-you business investment, any of my curriculums from the AMZ formula to AMZ formula Max to Inner Circle, all of them, we credit your investment. So if you're in the AMZ formula, which is my $997 course, and you want to upgrade to Max, which is where you get weekly coaching with different AMZ formula certified experts plus priority support, as well as additional information and additional resources. That package is $4,997. You already invested $1,000. We'll deduct that $1,000. Your remaining investment would be $3,997. And then again, we will still do something special for you. If you're like, hey, I want to do this today, can I just put $1,000 down and get on a payment plan? Can I pay half of it now and the other half in 30 days? Like, as you can tell, we're very reasonable and flexible with our clients because we want you guys to win. So we're not going to punish you guys in any way or shape or form if you're trying to get to the next level. Our goal is to help you get there faster, right? So a few things you can do. You can DM me on Instagram right now at official Joshua Crisp. There's a link to schedule a call. You can also email support@theamzformula.com and just be like, hey, I want to upgrade. Subject line upgrade. Instagram is probably the best. If you just Instagram me right now, yo, I'm in the program, I want to upgrade right now, you'll probably get a quicker response. Since it's the weekend and it's late, no one's going to be on the email or the scheduling a call side till Monday. If you DM me right now, you'll probably get a response back from me or a member of my team quicker. Does AMZ give you a hard time if you request to set up different seller accounts and separate brands? They don't give you a hard time, but they want a logical explanation. Logical explanation is not like, yo, I have different brands, I want different accounts. A logical explanation would be, hey, I have 3 different legal entities. They have to be separate for tax purposes and organization purposes. Or, hey, I need 2 accounts. One is my personal brand, which I own 100% sole equity in. 2 is a joint venture with my brother where we're 50-50, and I need this separated for legal reasons, right? So as long as you furnish a logical explanation why they should approve you. What's the difference between buying a course and a free YouTube course? So I don't know about a free YouTube course, dude. I put out more valuable content in the private label space on YouTube. I have more free, valuable, high quality content than anybody else. The true difference between investing in the AMZ formula and going through all 300 videos is everything is put together in chronological order, step by step, and it is 5 times more detail-oriented and specific, and it is also updated every single year for life. So the downfall with YouTube, and this is, I'm going to keep it real with you guys because I don't care if you buy my stuff. I was rich before I started education. That's the difference between me and a lot of people, right? Like on my YouTube channel, I have 300 videos. Not all of them, like not everything still works. Not everything is still relevant. I'm not going to reshoot the same video every single year. In the AMZ formula for the last 3 consecutive years, I have re-recorded all 100+ videos, 15 hours of content every single year, and the content quality gets better, the information gets better because I get better, and the relevance is there. So why should you matter about that? Number 1, it sucks siphoning through all of these videos to find what you need. Number 2, it really sucks if you start something based off of information that was working and is no longer working, right? That's the biggest thing, man. And then, of course, the support. Like, you can't ask me 50 questions on my YouTube channel. However, you can email us 50 questions. If you're in Max, you can show up weekly like we are right now and chat with coaches. If you're in my inner circle, you get one-on-one calls per month with me. Plus, you get one-on-one calls with our coaches. Plus, you get all of the curriculum and the resources and all the done-for-you stuff. Like, that's the main difference. Do you need it? No, I started without a course. Genuinely, authentically, do I feel that I would have saved more time and more money? Absolutely. Like when I do lectures and stuff, I even show emails. Like one question being answered can save you more than the cost or the investment of the course, right? One question. Like for instance, the information about the inventory. If you find a product, you feel confident about it, you're warm and fuzzy, and you order 2,000 units and you can't sell those 2,000 units, you've spent quantifiably more than what the investment is in my course, which would have inhibited that, right? And again, that's just full transparency. So that's kind of like my personal take on it. How do you figure out what products to research or what categories should you look at if there are billions of products? Tyron, so this should be done in the next like 20, 30 minutes and uploaded. Watch the first half of the video and I talk about that. I literally broke that down, showed you the math. I also have other videos on here. In my course, I break it down. But basically, to re-summarize in like 20 seconds, you identify how much money do you have to invest, what is your risk tolerance, how much money are you trying to make. You start with those filters, then you use other basic filters like review ratio, review count, daily sales, so on and so forth to support high demand, low competition, and to support 300 units per month or whatever units per month at what price point you need to make the amount of money that you want to make. And the reason why you use the software, again, down below, guys, we have a link to get you a discount on the software. The reason why you use the software is because it takes those 2 billion products or however many billions of products there are, and it refines it to a few hundred or a few thousand that you look through that are highly targeted that meet your search criteria. What are the rules for ad campaigns? How do you ensure your keywords are correct? Man, this could go super deep. So keywords are search phrases or search terms. And you want to start with an initial amount of keywords that have high search volume that people are typing in. So you know that they're correct because like if I'm selling this, I'm going to do lint roller. I'm not going to do bathroom robe, right? So that's like how you know they're correct. Are they relevant to search terms? Would people type those terms in and then buy your product? What was the second part of the question? How do you ensure your keywords are correct, or what rules for campaigns? So the rules for the campaigns are different. So like there's so many different strategies around PPC and campaigns and like ad sets and so on and so forth. But basically the overarching like premise of how it works is number one, you want to have campaigns finding you more keywords. The goal, whoever has the most keywords that they're making money on is going to win. Number two, whoever can advertise and spend the most amount of money profitably is going to win. That's like the two things you need to look at. Number one, how do I find all the juicy keywords that my competitors have and my competitors do not have? And then the second component is, how do I outspend my competition so that I get all the new sales? Remember, amateurs monetize the front end, experts monetize the back. I will spend money and lose money in PPC to get new clients that are going to be repeat customers or that are going to increase my my click to conversion ratio, which will increase my organic ranking, which then will make my profitability higher because I'm not paying for acquisition of customers. I will do that. An amateur that doesn't have that logic or have that understanding will not, and that's how I beat them. So hopefully that helps. I just signed up for your course. What advice would you give a newcomer to get the most from the course? And what is something I should pay special attention to? First and foremost, like a couple things, and I'll machine gun through them. Number one, understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. Number two, don't compare your chapter 1, which you're starting right now, to someone else's chapter 13. Number 3, document your process. Number 4, hold yourself accountable. Number 5, like set very realistic expectations. Don't start with the $1 million goal, the $100,000 a month goal. Start with the break even on your education investment, then upgrade to X amount per month, and then the $100,000 per month. The biggest mistake I see people make is unrealistic expectations. And when they are far off of it, they look at it as a failure. I need you to understand that you need to implement different types of gamification and reward systems within your life and within your studying and within your business, because making the investment is a win, right? It's not a gamble. Opening up the course and completing the course is a win. It's not a process, right? It's not progress. It's a win. Doing product research, finding your first product is a massive win. Launching a product and it may not be working or may not work to your where you want to be at, that is not a failure. That is a lesson. So change your thoughts from traditional ways about the business and about your process as to where you are and where you want to be to non-traditional ones, like I just said. Start working on your mindset. The most important part of the business, like there's two most important parts to this business. Number one is product research and understanding product research really, really well, which I break this down very articulately inside of my course. I give you everything I know inside of my course. And then number two is understanding the mindset. So in my course, in the AMZ formula, in any of my programs, you get the free mindset course. It's the first module. And the reason why it's the first, because it's the framework, it's the foundation, it's the most important thing. So like understand the mindset, my mindset, go through that, understand it, believe it, and then put all the focus on product research. And then just don't give up. And if you do that, it's inevitable for you to be successful. It's just a matter of time. Cool. Like I've seen a few questions about people upgrading to anything. Guys, if you want to upgrade, the best thing to do is just DM me on Instagram right now at official Joshua Crisp. Or if you're watching the replay, you're interested in my programs, you want to upgrade, DM me. There will also be links down below the video. In reference to tiers, it's very simple. We have several tiers. Do it yourself, do it with us, or done for you. Do it yourself is going to be my standard level programs. Do it with you is going to be my programs plus coaching. There's two tiers for that. There's 3 coaches plus the programs. That's max. There's the programs, the 3 coaches plus one-on-one mentorship with me. That's my inner circle. And then if you believe in this business, you want to get started in this business, you don't want to learn this business, we have the investment opportunity that's still available currently at the time of me recording this, which is called AMZ Together or the Done For You. And that's a little bit more white glove, a la carte, done for you. We help find the product. We create the listing, do the keyword research, help get everything set up for you so you can go from there. And then we give you the training, the resources, and everything you need on the back end. Cool. Awesome. Is Jungle Scout included in the course or is that separate? That is separate. We're not affiliated. However, we have a link for you guys that need the software. It's discount on junglescout.com. With that being said, guys, again, quick recap. Every single week, we've got new videos dropping here on the channel. We're already about 6 months out. So you need to subscribe right now. Hit the red subscribe button right now. Choose execution over excuses. Next to it, click that notification bell. That's important because it's going to notify you every single week when the new videos drop and every single week when I go live to give you all of this information that's going to help you increase your income, your impact, and your influence. Any questions that you guys have, drop them down below in the comment section. I'm most active and available and touchable on Instagram. So if you have questions, you want to chat, you want to get signed up for a program or any questions, DM me at official Joshua Crisp. And most importantly, guys, remember this, you're only one product away. I'll see you guys next time.